Hey guys, I'm Ray, and we are streaming from the BAM annual conference. BAM is the Blacksmith Association of Missouri, and we are here at their annual conference, streaming um, all of the happenings here. So, welcome. I'm going to take you with me on a tour of kind of what is going on here. I have this phone here is going to show me what's going on in chat. So I might be a little bit slow to respond to everybody talking, but I will do my best to kind of respond to anybody's questions. We can kind of look at any of the things a little bit closer, not too close, but like as close as we can get if you guys need to see that. So yeah, I'm gonna start kind of walking around, I think. And this is, so yeah, over here, we're kind of on the edge of the conference. There's nothing really going on here, but there's a few people who are kind of setting up and doing a few things. So yeah, we have lots of blacksmiths here. Today we are right now we're kind of going through the 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 tailgate sale area, right? So there's blacksmith equipment and booths set up for blacksmith gear on both sides of this like central corridor. That way is some classes and as well as some like some demonstrations. So I'll kind of give you a tour of everything that's like around. Maybe we'll talk to a few people if they want to talk. And after that, we'll probably take a look at some of the demonstration. I do have an interview scheduled with our demonstrator, but that's going to be much later on. Unfortunately, I am unable to do that on actual stream. So yeah, hopefully everything is all right technically. If you guys can hear me, or if you can't hear me, let me know. But yeah, so here we are. So I'm gonna go up and down these rows a little bit and kind of show you what's going on, and we'll kind of see what's happening here. So we've got a couple booths over here. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm live streaming, so if you don't want to be on camera, let me know and I'll. Okay. So I'm on Twitch. I stream on the Twitch channel Ray Smithy. So it's a live streaming on the internet. Usually it's for games, but I stream blacksmithing. So we're here to kind of see what's happening. Yeah. So looks like you've got some stuff for sale.
Yeah, just a few things.
Awesome.
Hammers that my buddy Mike made.
Excellent. These are great hammers. I like them. They've got the that straight hammer handle, so that you can keep your hand really nice and straight as you're hammering on the anvil. So it makes it a lot easier to make sure that you're not gouging your piece. So yeah, these are really great. Looks like you got multiple weights here too.
Yeah, they're all a little bit different.
Uh-huh. Excellent. Got some handle drifts.
Yeah, cleaning out the shop stuff.
Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. $2 each for fire bricks. It's a pretty good deal. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. So yeah, we've got lots and lots of booths with all kinds of different tools. Some of it's going to be brand new, some of it's going to be used. Some of it you have to bring it home and kind of take care of it a little bit, dress it up so that it's going to be useful. But yeah, let's have some fun. We'll see what else we can find. So over there, it looks like they have some antlers on the table. Those make great knife scales. So that's really cool. These ones on this table look like they're already scaled out and ready to be put on a knife itself. So that's really great to be able to, easily have that. So yeah. This is a box of anvils. So we've got a couple, like these are really good ones. This one, it looks like it's a Peter Wright. It is a 294-pound anvil. That's what this number right here means. And it looks like it's about $1,000. That's actually a really nice anvil. It's got a little bit of some wear and tear right here, but other than that, the edges are very beautiful. This is a great anvil. This guy is a little railroad track anvil. I love that it's got a piece of stock welded to the side of it like that. That makes it really nice or for curves and for scrolls. Hi, I'm live streaming for Twitch. So if you guys, want to talk on Twitch, that's great. If not, we'll move on. Yeah. So we're being nosy. So yeah, and this ball here, it is a steel ball right there, and that is great for doing sheet work. You can make like if you're trying to make armor or things like that, it's really great for doing curve shapes on sheet steel, and that's a really great find. You don't see those as often in blacksmithing tool sales, because most people are they're working with stock and they don't use quite as much sheet. So I personally love using sheet. Sheet is one of my favorite things. Let's move out of the way here. We've got whoa. These over here, this is great. These are brand new anvils. It looks like they are brand new cast. So some of these are swage blocks. There's also a cone there. These are great for working in sheet, as well as, making interesting shapes for, so like this one here, that's like for our spoon that we made several weeks ago. We made that spoon. So this is a miniature version of the swage block that I have at the shop. So yeah, these are really great patterned anvils. It looks like that's a Swedish pattern anvil. Some of those over here are different ones. We've got a bridge anvil right there that's really, really nice. You don't see those often either. Hey, Mahalo. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. It's been a little quiet so far. I hope that you can actually see or like hear me. I mean, I know you can't see me personally right now, but hello. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we are remote at the BAM conference in Sedalia, Missouri. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's several demos, and yeah. Okay, stream is smooth and audio is good. That is great. I'm so happy to hear that. I wasn't sure because my internet is my phone is kind of flopping between 5G and 3G. So yeah, I'm glad that the audio is good. I did change. I changed the category a little bit because we're more real life today than makers and crafting so far. So I hope that people can find us. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here and I'm really excited. I'm trying to make sure that I can continue walking. Cheer to the camera person too. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is my partner. He is hanging onto the camera for me and making sure that I have hands free. Let's move over here a little bit. So there is or maybe, I'm not sure where you're right here. Okay. Trying to get out of the way here. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here. So let's kind of take a look around and see what we've got here. See if we can't find anything interesting to look at. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of my back this stream, unfortunately, because I kind of want to see where I'm going a little bit. So I'll kind of be like, I guess, sidestepping maybe. I don't know. Over here, this is really neat. This is a power hammer. This is a red tire hammer. It looks like it is. It was put together pretty well. It's got these really nice diagonal blocks for the dies. That's really great. It's very well made. I like that powder coat on it. So it looks like it is a 60-pound ram on that tire hammer for $5,000. So yeah, it is about the same size as, it's a little bit taller, but it's about the same like floor profile as my press back at the shop. And so yeah, this is a pretty nice looking power hammer. So yeah, we've got some tongs and some toppers. These are flatters. They're beautiful. Very beautiful. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm streaming on Twitch live, so if you don't want to, let me know. So yeah, we're just kind of taking a look around. I run a blacksmithing YouTube channel and Twitch channel, so I live stream blacksmithing up on Twitch. So we're kind of taking a look around and to see like what there is to see. So yeah, this is a really nice flatter. I like that a lot. So this is a flatter. Do I need this?
If you talk to people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can hear them.
All right. So this is a flatter, and what this does is, as you are, or when you're trying to finish your work, if you've got like lumps and bumps in it, you put this on top of your piece, and then you hammer right here on the top. And so it's kind of like a die on a handle, or I mean, I guess a punch on it's similar to our punches, but this is a flatter on a stick. So if I were to buy this and use it, I wouldn't hammer my hand like I always end up doing. So this is for finish work. So it flattens out all of our pieces and things. So I typically stream to brand new blacksmiths or people who are more curious about blacksmithing in general. So they've never experienced it or never actually done it themselves. So yeah.
We ask you guys a couple questions about what you got here.
So this is our mic.
Hold it or clip it.
You whatever works best.
Okay.
There, that works.
There you go.
Yeah, so it looks like you've got a selection of tongs and top tools.
Yep. So we do. The company name is Fiery Furnace Forge.
Okay.
We're out of South Central Kentucky, and we make pretty much anything forging related.
Excellent.
So we make all of our own tongs. None of the stuff that we do is import type stuff. We make everything in house. So we make a full line of punches, chisels, tongs, hammers, and then we also build power hammers and forges.
So is this your power hammer?
Yeah, this is a power hammer that we build.
Excellent.
And so yeah, we just do a full line of all that kind of stuff, plus custom stuff, and we also make items for industrial forging. So there's still large-scale industrial forging that does take place in the country. And we've done tongs to hold up to like 10-inch solid round billets. Tongs that are 40, 50 inches long, and big stuff.
Yeah.
And but this is kind of our everyday production stuff that we make. Yes.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these guys are, it looks like these are box jaw tongs.
Yep, these are box jaw tongs. They're sized for specific thicknesses and widths, so that when you hold your stock in there, the stock cannot move around at all. So they're kind of limited to a specific size, but they hold that size really, really well.
Yeah, that's very similar to the sets of bolt tongs that we've been making. I've been sizing them specifically for the different types of stock that I normally carry in my shop So we've got the 1/4-inch square stock tongs, and we also have those 5/8-inch tongs. So yeah, these are specifically sized for, it looks like they are for maybe like a rectangular barn.
Right, these are 1/2 by 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
I think all of these actually here that I have left are 1/2 by 1.5 inches. So
Welcome in, Dark. Thank you so much for joining us. So it looks like maybe these might be like tongs that are really good for like knife billets.
right, so this right here is more for blade stock. Here, these are sized for 1/4 by 1 1/4, and yeah, they're made to actually wrap around the flat material and hold it perfectly in line and straight and everything like that, and it holds it really, really solid. So it's limited in what it can do, but it does that thing really, really well.
Yes.
So we make those in a variety of sizes. This one here is kind of a custom pair I ran out for a guy, and I actually got confused on the sizing and made the wrong size for him. But this is 3/8 by, I think, 3 is what it was set up for, but it's got a built-in tong clip.
Ooh, that's
so
always nice.
when you grab the right size material, it'll stop about right there, and then you can kind of bend that in there and it'll clip in place and hold it for you.
Awesome.
And so that's kind of a cool little pair that we did.
That's really great.
And then we do pairs like these here. This is a multi-size tong, so it's got a deep V-jaw on one side and then a real shallow one on the other. So this right here will hold anything from 1/4 up to 1 inch material. And it does all of those pretty good, but nothing perfectly. That's kind of the goal, you know. It does a pretty decent job on a lot of things.
So in our shop, we've been doing a lot of tools to make specific projects. So we'll make a set of tongs specifically for a specific size piece of stock or like a specific project that we're doing. So yeah, it looks like these guys are able to do that as well. So it takes a lot of the time out of making those tools to make tools. I'm looking at this hammer eye punch.
Yep.
We've been talking about making some hammers recently for the stream, and I'm gonna have to make or buy.
There you go. So yeah, this is just a hammer eye punch. It's got a kind of a dual tapered bevel here to the tip, so that it instead of it being a flat punch and just plowing through the material, it pushes the material away from the punch.
Yeah.
So it goes through really easily.
Yeah, so you get a smaller plug.
Yes, and so yeah, that tool there, these tools here, all your top tools have what we call a single taper eye. So the eye is bigger at the bottom, smaller at the top, and the handle is friction fit.
Yes, that makes it easier, to replace the handle when necessary. And they kind of have a little bit of give in them, so they'll last a lot longer, and the tops will mushroom a lot less.
A lot less energy is transferred from the tool into the handle with that friction fit versus a wedge fit like you would on a regular hammer.
Yeah, these are great. So is there anything specifically that you might like to show my chat?
Oh, let's see here.
Something that you're particularly proud of.
There's a few things that we do here. We just finished developing coal forge here.
That is a really nice.
So if you like coal forging versus propane, we just finished this. It's a new iteration of something that we did a number of years ago. This system here, it all breaks down with simple bolts, so the legs come out real easy. It's got wheels on it, you can roll it around. Tool tray, you can keep all your tools on there. You got a longer piece of steel that you need to heat up. You got to pull out
built-in
rack for holding that. We fabricate these fire pots too. We're the only U.S. maker of fabricated fire pots. And so we do fabricated fire pots for our forges, and then it's got its own built-in blower system with a blower on it and an air gate that you can control the airflow in and out of your forge. And so it's kind of a self-contained unit that we just finished developing.
That's excellent.
And we spent a little bit of the winter on that. So
yeah, we're gearing up to build a new coal forge. I primarily do gas forging because I do a lot of explaining. So my metal sits in the gas forge and kind of marinates.
Right.
So I'm a little afraid of using coal on flame.
So in demonstrating, I have literally burnt all the way through 1 1/4 solid round because you get in the habit of talking to somebody or trying to
Yeah.
explain a process, you know, and you just, especially with a electric blower, you leave that thing cracked a little bit and it'll burn all the way through it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it looks like you've got.
And yeah, we do a full line
stuff.
of hammers and anything from £1.25 all the way up to 4.5 as a stock item. And we do them in cross peen, straight peen, right facing diagonal, left facing diagonal, double diagonal, and rounding.
Those
So
are
about
beautiful.
everything that you could imagine. So yeah, that's kind of our whole line of hammers that we do. And then we do
Excellent.
all the tongs.
Ooh, I like the offset pattern.
Yeah, we
here.
do. There's just a standard bolt tong would be straight in line, like so.
And these are like the ones that we made a couple weeks ago.
And then an offset allows you to hold your material. So if you got a weird shaped piece, you can hold it past the reins. Whereas the straight, it's going to run into the back here. So just two different applications, but they're both handy to have.
Yeah.
And then we do a full line of punches and chisels and all other kind of weird tools and whatnot. And
Yeah, these guys look like power hammer
these
dies.
are the power hammer
or
dies. These are the
replacement
dies that we use on the tire hammers that we build.
hammers. These are combination dies.
So yeah,
They've
there's a
got
combo
that
die.
half round
Yep.
on there.
So you can draw here or use tooling here. And you can also, the way the hammer's set up, you can stand here and use this as a spreading die. So you can spread or lengthen.
Excellent.
And then a full flat, which is typically used for cleaning stuff up or tooling, and then
Yeah.
a full radius, which is more of a bladesmithing type die. So,
Ooh, these are really nice too. It looks like we can make custom.
yeah, you can
dies
make your own custom dies. Yeah,
if we
just a
have
blank
something
plate.
specific
Right,
that we
yeah.
want. Nice twisting bars over here. I need to get a set of twisting bars. I always end up using crescent wrenches. But yeah, that's excellent. Thank you so much for showing us around. We've got lots and lots of.
Yeah, we do a full line of punches and chisels, slot punches. We have eye punches. We have 3/16, then a mid-size and a large size. So they go up for different. If you're doing a small animal head versus
Good
a big animal head.
applications. Yeah, excellent.
And then we do a bunch of different types of chisels, round and square hole punches.
It's not often that you see the
Right, yeah, different
the
shapes
right
of chisels. Yeah,
angles
yeah, those are
on
90-degree
these
chisels.
The 90 degrees. You don't see those often.
And you'd use those in an application like you see the old hinge work and stuff where they've got a solid bar, but they have scrolls that split off.
Yeah.
And they would use either a 90-degree chisel or a half-round chisel to bring that split out there to the edge of the bar is what that's used for. So,
All right.
yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, thank you so much for chatting with us.
No problem. There's that.
Thank you. So yeah, that's one of the vendors, and that was a brand. All of those tools are brand new and fabricated specifically for shops. And so in case you want to do like a new setup, or like I'm gonna turn that off for the moment. In case you don't want to have to make your own tools, there's also a whole bunch of areas where you can actually get used tools. Some of them are really good, and you can use them right out of the box, and some of them you actually have to kind of clean up a little bit. So yeah. Let's see what else is around that we can see. These guys are pretty nice. It looks like they're leather aprons. So I use a regular, box store leather apron. Mine's like, it's really cheap. I got it from like Harbor Freight for like $20. But you can actually buy some really amazing custom aprons. This is all leather working. It's beautiful. It looks like they're a little bit busy right now. I'm probably not able to talk to us right now, but maybe we'll come back later and they'll be available to talk to us then. So yeah. So over here we have the Abana booth. And Abana is the Artist Blacksmith Association of America. They are kind of like an association or a guild in like they accredit people in the United States so that you can kind of have a little bit of accreditation, and it's kind of like a little bit of a school to make sure that you got like the proper skills, to learn them, or if you want something more formal, I guess. So right here they have kind of the displays, and these are the kind of things that you make while you are doing their courses. So they have like, I believe they have 4 levels. So right here we're looking at, I think this is the level 1 course. Or maybe it's this is the level 1 course over here. So they make a lot of like drawing down and some bends, and it looks like a little bit of forge welding. See some of this chain? You can kind of, that's kind of how they make the chain, so that you round it out, and then you actually heat it up and kind of weld it in the forge. So that's really, really nice. Over there, it looks like that's the level 2. So maybe they make like scrolls and things like that, and then they make some more like tongs. This is a bending bar again. So it looks like they allow you to make tools to make tools. So they actually have a couple classes that are currently running, and they're down that direction. So we'll definitely take a look at that after a little while. It looks like right here we're doing a demo. So there's actually a smith who is starting to work. So I think we're going to take a lap around the rest of the area, and then after that I will probably, is this event going all weekend? It actually is. This event started on Thursday. I was unable to make it down here until today. So we just got here about, I don't know, 1 o'clock or so. So yeah, this event will be going all day today and then all day on Saturday. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm probably only going to be able to stream for a little bit today, and I'll probably not stream. I probably won't be able to stream tomorrow just because I need to get a little bit of my own fun in too, So yeah, we've got a smith over here. It's a demo. We will take a look at that in a little bit. I want to make sure that we're out of the way. So we'll probably come back in a few. So over here, it looks like this is the Little Giant setup. They've got some like little mini Little Giant hammers over here. They're really nice. Hi, I'm Ray. I'm live streaming on Twitch right now, so that's like a live internet like broadcast, I guess. So I'm just kind of walking around. So if you guys are okay with that, that's great. Otherwise, we can move on. All right, cool. So yeah, it looks like these are models of Little Giant power hammers. Little Giant is a very affordable, very nice power hammer company, and they are US made. So these are little models that looks like maybe this one might be 3D printed. And yeah, so these are great little hammers. So yeah, we'll see if I can. Let's see if I can talk to one of them. Maybe we'll move on and try again in a little bit. So looks like there are a few other places here. These are like some other booths and things like that. It looks like we've got some more craft booths maybe. Yeah. Right there, they actually there's a quilt right up there at the top. And I was looking at this earlier, and each of the colors of the quilt are actually the colors, the color temperatures that steel changes at different temperatures. So this is like a temper chart in quilt form, which I think is really kind of cool. That's really neat. So yeah, there's quite a lot of cool little things that are blacksmith related, like pieces of decor and things like that. So right here they are doing a tin smithing class. This is for flat sheet. I think it's like 10 maybe. It is, so they've got a few of the tin stakes over there. In the center there, you can make lots of bends and curves in the. Looks like they're doing a lot of cones and decorations. So that right there is a bender. So that's so that you can make right angles on sheet metal. So yeah, there's lots and lots to do here at this conference. Over here, it looks like we've got some more knife billets. These are really, knife scales. So there's a nice spaldered wood, and we've got some Damascus pattern billets. These are really cool. We've got some like really nice raindrop pattern billets. These are really great for doing material reduction knives. So you can cut the shape of your material out, and then you can kind of grind your blade on there. So that's for sharps. And it looks like they actually have some, maybe these are definitely, I believe what these are is, these are Damascus billets for mosaic Damascus. So what you would do, I've never seen such a large piece of it. Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? So yeah, these are Damascus, it looks like these are Damascus billets. Yeah, they are $10.80 and they're $45. So you cut these in like a diagonal pattern, and then you can actually forge weld those together into a nice knife shape and flatten that out under your power hammer. So yeah, and then these over here look like they are actually knife kits. So what you would do is you take this kit, you'd weld it all together and then hammer it under your press or your power hammer, and that would create a billet of Damascus for you. So that's really neat. I've never seen kits kits like this. I need to get a drink real fast. I don't normally talk this long without a drink, you know? But today I do not have water, so I'm stuck with Mountain Dew. I know, guys, I should not be drinking the Mountain Dews. But yeah, so this is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like over here these are mosaic pins. So you can kind of take a look at the ends of those, and there's like little patterns in there that you can pin your scales together with. So I am live streaming on Twitch. I run a blacksmithing Twitch channel and a YouTube channel. So if you'd like to talk to us about some of this stuff, that would be amazing. I would be grateful.
He's the know-how.
Awesome.
I wouldn't say not all of it.
So here is a microphone. Hang on just one sec. I want to make sure that's recording. There you go. Okay, cool.
You just put that on your pocket.
Yep. Just clip that on your pocket. And then I am so grateful. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Well, you're welcome. I don't know a whole lot. I'm new at this.
Oh, okay. So it looks like you've got some pre-made billets of Damascus here.
Yeah,
It
this
looks
is
like
that
raindrop.
Alabama Damascus.
Awesome.
That is. I got it off of Brad Weiss. He wasn't going to be here.
Okay.
So I got some and just brought it up.
Yeah, cool. And then you've got some burl here, it looks like, for scales maybe?
Yes, this
that
is
what
all
those
for
are?
handle material. Maple burl, spalted maple,
Okay.
spalted tamarind. Some
Ooh.
of it I've dyed, lightly dyed.
Yeah, that's
and
really
everything.
pretty. I like
Trying
that.
to experiment. It's first time stabilizing and all that. I'm trying to. One of my good friends that passed away, Ron Richardson, which a lot of people know him in the knife community. You know, on this, I traveled with him the last 3 years.
Uh-huh.
You know, he one got me interested in it,
Yeah.
kind of showing me a little bit.
Okay, cool. cool.
And this is some of his material here. And
Oh, okay, cool.
I was trying to stabilize it, that way it don't take up on water and everything.
Definitely, yeah. Got to make sure that the spalder doesn't get bigger.
Yeah.
So it looks like you've got some are these kits over here?
These are bundles.
Bundles, okay.
12 inches, and these are 8. I had a few customers like last year. Well, Ron had a few customers. They're like, we don't want to throw. We don't need but so much. We don't want to throw the rest away. They didn't know what to do with it. So I cut some in 8 inches at least.
Okay.
That's about a standard knife.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
These are 1 1/4 inch. It's 1080. Solid.
Okay.
This is 1080.
1080 and
that's
these are
5160.
Okay, cool.
Both are good knife materials.
Yes, definitely. Very high carbon.
Freely give. Yeah, they make lead springs out of these also.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
And
so okay.
A lot of blacksmiths like these.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll make axes. Something like that. Okay. Tomahawks.
Yeah.
Especially if they got a press.
Makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
So presser, power hammer, so they can forge weld them together. Excellent. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything that you specifically would like to share?
Don't give up, I don't guess, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn to make knives, and I've cut a few out, and it ain't turned out what I wanted.
Yeah, just
but
keep
it ain't
going.
gonna happen overnight. But
yeah, practice makes perfect.
I'm still gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. Years ago, I started to do it out of college.
Yeah.
In the blacksmithing, and I thought, well, there ain't nobody around here that does that, and all this, but little did I realize.
Man, there are people all over the place that do blacksmithing and knife making. Yeah.
So, wish I'd have went on to college and done it, but I went right into the workforce, and everything.
I mean, we do what we've got to.
I always wanted to do it, since I was a little kid, learn how to make a knife. My goal was to get the folders, pocket knives. They call them folders.
Yeah.
My goal was to get to that. And everything, sell them, but
yeah,
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
I got sheaves, sanding belts, 2x72.
Yeah, 2x72 is a great standard size for a lot of different knife making purposes. And I mean, a lot of blacksmiths use them too to clean up tools and clean up their projects and things like that. So yeah. 2x72, it's a very
mosaic pins.
Size. Yeah,
if you want it decorative in it, making it look, a lot of people like them. Then I got plain old brass rod. But some people put stainless pins in.
Yeah. Always good to have more decoration, more elaborate. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with me. Yeah.
You're more than welcome. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Anything else? Well, right here, I guess Preston Edwards is my name. Well, you right there. Handmade knives. Also, look. Well, it's handmade knives and supplies.
All right. The whole, excellent. Thank you so much.
That's the whole name, I guess you could say. I was gonna put knife supplies too, but I'm like, well, knives and knife supplies. Just cut that out and just say supplies. And that way.
Yeah.
So everybody get it.
So thank you very much.
Trying to get it growing off the ground.
Yeah.
So we drove out here 12-hour drives.
Well, man, we only had 3 hours, but
It's well by Google. It says 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We left yesterday morning. It said we made 5 stops along the way. 10 minutes to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
We pulled in the hotel room.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was a long day.
Long haul, but you are here, and I hope you are doing well.
I'm showed a few things. Nothing, you can see you got a lot on the table.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, good Lord, for it.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
So over here we have another demo. So it looks like they are actually making a hammer here. That's amazing. So it looks like they are doing a French pattern blacksmithing hammer. I don't really want to talk very loud because I don't want to interrupt the demonstration. But once we make our loop around, we will also stop by here and take a look. So yeah, this is excellent. So over there are some trip hammers. So those are, they are similar to power hammers in that they are a mechanized hammer, but instead of putting your foot down on the treadle to make the hammer automatically hammer, it's kind of like you put your foot down on the treadle and it creates one hammer blow. So you can see the treadle down there and then the ram up there. So yeah, they're very good for riveting. And then just anytime you have like a single hammer blow that you need to make. And it looks like these guys are sold. They're beautiful. Yeah, so down here we have a bending jig. This is like a scrolling jig. It is a multi-pattern. Oh.
Just trying to get.
No, it's all right. So down here is a scrolling jig. So you can actually pull the pins off of that and create scrolls of many different sizes. So that's really awesome. I've actually never seen one of these in person. I've seen them on videos, but never in person. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's a really cool little tool. So over here we have some more of those tin smithing anvils. So these are for doing a lot of sheet work. So those are amazing. And this is actually I think this actually is an anvil itself. It's got a very large brittle hole, but it looks like you can actually use that for the tin anvils as well. This is an absolutely gorgeous anvil right there. This is actually this is what my anvil would look like if it was not broken on the top. So this is actually, it looks like it's been repaired. This is it looks like this is a brand new tool steel top on there. It's got that pritchel hole and the hardy right there. So this is a beautiful, nice refinished top to that anvil. Yeah, it's so great. The bender on the floor looks heavy enough to do a stair railing. It is. It actually is. That's what it's actually designed for, is for stair railings and things like that. So yeah. Let's see, what else do we got? So over there we have some of those Abana courses happening. So they've got 10 slots. There were 10 slots that you could take the Abana courses. I think they had a level 1 and a level 2 going on. So there are 10 students there, and see all of the little forges over there. So each of those forges probably has about 2 people working out of it. All those little anvils, and they are taking those basic blacksmithing courses. They are Abana sponsored. So yeah, they kind of go around and they'll teach you the basic techniques that you need to learn to start your own shop. So, I mean, if you're interested in blacksmithing, I would definitely take a look at the Abana courses. See if you can't find one in your area. Most states actually have a chapter of Abana. Like I said, this one is the Missouri chapter. So yeah. We're in Missouri, and I mean, there's a little bit of crossover with some of the chapters. I used to be a member of the Illinois and Wisconsin chapter. They were kind of based out of Chicago area, and we moved, so I was unable to I was unable to continue with that chapter at that time. I'd like to rejoin it, but we have joined the BAM chapter. Yeah, really nice. You can get a hands-on courses there. Yes, you definitely can. So when I was looking at the rates for the courses, it looked like they were about $30 for the course. So that's a really great deal. And so, I mean, you know, $30, it's not bad. So this is all of the merch. This is the merch booth. They've got shirts and hats and all of the different things as merch for the conference itself. Hi, I'm Ray. I am streaming live on Twitch. I run a blacksmithing Twitch and YouTube channel. So we're kind of checking things out and, you know.
Absolutely. Have
Yeah.
fun at it. So everything that we sell here benefits the BAM as a
Okay.
whole. So everything, that's why it's called BAM Boutique, right?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
And, some people actually, like stuff on that side is stuff
Uh-huh.
that people have made or that they have donated,
Uh-huh.
so that the proceeds will go to BAM. And
Uh-huh.
then we make t-shirts every year for the conferences. You can see old conferences on that end. And then this year's conference, this is the shirt for this year.
Ooh, nice. From Ore to Anvil. Yeah, we had that demo earlier. That was like yesterday,
Well, they're
and
still making ore over there. They're
Oh,
doing
awesome.
They're doing smelting over there. And then, of course, we have all the demos here. And then they're taking what they smelted over there and that there a demonstration that direction
Okay.
to actually work something.
awesome.
Yeah, so, and knowing them, I bet you it'll be at the auction tomorrow night. So
Excellent.
Yes.
That'll be so much fun.
yeah,
When I went to school for sculpture, and one of my main things before I really got into blacksmithing was casting. So we did a lot of aluminum and bronze pours, and I've done a few iron pours as well. So
Right.
those are a lot of fun.
oh, that is fun.
Yeah.
Have you met? Have you gone over to Holland yet and talked to them?
I have not.
You need to talk to them. You would enjoy talking with him.
Excellent.
Because he makes anvils. And
Oh,
he
nice.
He casts them. So if
Yeah, I
remember
think I saw the anvils that he cast, but I did not see anyone over there at that time. So maybe we'll go over again.
Got this tall, white hair. It says Holland Anvils on his shirt. You'll see.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you so much for
much.
talking with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you have any other questions, there is where did she go? There's a woman named Patty. Talk
Okay.
to her. She knows anything and everything. They were like one of the charter members of BAM from
Okay.
so many years ago. So,
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. So
All
thank
right.
you for coming by.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
All right, have a great day today.
You
guys.
too, thank you. I really hope that I was able to get the sound for that.
Probably need to go a little closer.
I'm sorry, but
You learn.
yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on over here. If that is another demo or if that is another class. I think it might actually be a demo, or maybe that's open smithing. I'm not sure. There actually was a contest that they were talking about. Maybe it's just a demo. They were talking about doing on, I believe it was on Saturday, a contest to see, you know, what people could make and how that would work. Or I guess, yeah. Maybe you can smith a little microphone holder rod. That would be great. Like a selfie stick, maybe. I could definitely see myself doing that. I think I would have to get a hold of a properly sized tap and die set, so that I could actually like twist on to the tripod threads. So, but yeah. So I believe Holland pattern anvils. This might actually be the ore smelting. So I'm not sure. So yeah, it looks like that is bloom steel down in there. It looks So you can kind of see some of the orange glow at the bottom down there. And so what you do is when you have when you have like sand or ore, and you can throw it in the bottom of a layer of coke or coal. Coke is another form of coal. It's like a different crystalline structure than coal is. Anyway, it burns a lot hotter than coal. And so you put it in there and you can kind of burn out all of the imperfections, and you can kind of purify that ore into a steel. Yeah, holy smokes. Did not expect smelting demos. That's intense. Yes, so according to the booklet or the demo listing, they were doing them yesterday and they're supposed to be doing them all day today. So yeah, welcome in, Jack. How are you today? We are at the BAM conference and we're kind of walking around getting a lay of the land. We've talked to a few different people about just like what they're here for, and done a few different interviews with people. So I think I'm gonna see about maybe talking to a couple other people, and then we'll probably end the stream because we've been going for about an hour. I did say that we'd look at some of the demos, so maybe we'll look at the demos for a little bit. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. So I guess we can look at the demos for a little bit after we're done. I want to see if I can't talk to the anvil makers. So we've got a group of people who actually do iron or cast iron anvils, like the brand new ones. They're over here. So yeah, if I can, maybe talk to somebody over here. It looks like they're Holland anvils. So yeah, that's really nice. I need to pick up a card for the other group, the group that had the power hammer. Don't let me forget that. So yeah, this is Holland Anvil's setup. Looks like they've got some hammer eye drifts and some anvils. These are fresh ones. I really like the bridge pattern anvils here. That's really good for sheet metal. And making kind of knives. Something small like that would be really good for knives. So yeah, they've got a lot of different swage blocks here. So these are like tooling blocks, and then they also have the bowling blocks down here. That's really nice, and I like I said, they've got multiple different patterns of anvils. So we've got the bridge pattern and the Swedish pattern, and then our regular U.S. patterns. So those are really great. I just thought to myself that having a tiny anvil would be a lovely decoration. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of little tiny anvils that you can get a hold of, and a lot of them, people actually collect the demo anvils. In the early days of, not the early days necessarily, but in about the 1800s, there were people that would actually, they were door-to-door salesmen, but they would sell anvils. So there's a lot of little tiny anvils about yay big. And they were the demo anvils that they could kind of sell. Yeah, Holland makes very nice stuff. They do. They definitely do. So I'm going to see if maybe one of them would like to talk to me about the anvils that they make. But we might have to wait just a little bit because I think they're busy for the moment. But yeah. Come to think of it, any railroad track anvils around? We did actually see one earlier down that direction. We definitely did see them. They had actually welded a piece of round stock on them, so it kind of created its own little, horn on the anvil. So not a real horn necessarily, like a real horn, but it functions that way. Hi. I thought it was over here, but maybe I'm wrong, and it might have been further back that way. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was one earlier today, so if I see it, I will definitely point it out to you guys. So yeah. Maybe we'll look at some of the demos real fast for a while. Because it looks like the Holland Anvil people might actually be a little bit busy for the moment. So I will definitely I will try to get an interview with them, and I will post that with the rest of my interviews up on YouTube if I'm not able to do that while we are streaming. So I think, like I said, I think we're gonna go and sit down and take a look at some kind of like demos. So when we, I'm gonna take us over to the bleachers because they have some bleachers over there. So you can kind of sit down for the demos. When we actually get there, I'm probably gonna be really quiet so as not to be rude to the rest of the viewers. So we'll kind of sit there for a little bit. I'll probably stay live for maybe another 30 minutes. And then I will probably wrap up. So yeah. So here's a nice demo right here. So let's take a look at this one. So this is the demonstration. Sorry, I'm probably going to be a little bit on the quiet side, but this is the demonstration. They are actually smithing with the bloom steel ingots. So after the steel gets outside of that little coal ring, that it actually comes out looking like this. So you can see that there's like some, this has been a little bit hammered on. So you can see the crystalline structure. There's a little bit of clinker in there, and clinker is melted flux. So you've got to keep steel clean when you are smithing it and smelting it. So you can see the kind of glassy look to that piece, and that is the clinker. So these are beautiful pieces of ore, and then this is what it looks like after it has been purified right here. And then from this purified form, you can create a blade like so. So yeah. So as I stand here, I am probably about 15 to 20 feet away from this forge. Welcome in, Bluesy. And have fun, Dark. Looks like work has found you. Catch you later. Enjoy the conference. Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome in, Bluesy. Today we are at the BAM conference. Right now we are watching a demo. They are turning bloom steel, which is what they've created with raw ore on the other side of the conference, and they're turning it into a workable piece of steel. So yeah, they've got a coal forge going, and it looks like about a 75-pound little giant power hammer going. It is a beautiful power hammer, and that is a purified billet, and they they refined it, and yeah. So we'll see about getting an interview with this demonstrator for the YouTube channel. So yeah. The BAM conference, BAM, the Blacksmith Association of Missouri, Illinois, or I mean Missouri, yeah. This one time at BAM conference, yeah, it's BAM, Blacksmith Association of Missouri. So that is a state in the United States. I'm sure you know. So we are in central Missouri. We're about 3 hours away from my shop. So yeah, and I live near St. Louis, Missouri, so near the Mississippi River, because it runs like all the way down the state. So yeah. And there's just like a lot of stuff here to check out. Here's another tong sales booth. So yeah. This is blacksmithsupply.com. They're really good. I've actually seen a lot of their stuff on their website. They have a really good website for beginning blacksmith tools. They're somewhat reasonable. So this guy is really neat. This is it's a blacksmith's friend or a guillotine die set. So you can take all of these little dies and stick them inside this metal sheet here, and you put this on your hardy, or on I guess it looks like maybe it bolts onto a bench. But you take the top die and you hammer directly on it, and it creates. Remember, I'm American. I'm an intellectual refugee. Yeah. So yeah, you can kind of create the different die patterns. See, this is like a hot cut, and this one is a drawing die. This one will create a specific size of stock for you. So if you're breaking down stock. So these are a whole bunch of party tools. These are really nice. Very professional. Looks like they're even powder coated. They almost look rubber coated, but I know that that can't be. So yeah.
Looks like the lady over there is probably the person to ask.
Okay. We can go over there and we'll see if I can't find someone to talk to about this lovely booth. Hi, I'm Ray. I am live streaming on Twitch, which is a live news kind of site. I mean, you can stream all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I'm a live broadcast, really. And I was looking to see if there might be anyone who might talk to me or be interested in talking to me in my chat.
Might, if he stops wandering around this place. He should be back in about 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Looks like we can talk to someone in about 10 minutes about this booth. So yeah. Interesting to see the coating on the Hardy tools. Yeah, I can pick those up and we'll see what they're actually made of. So yeah, if I pick this up, yeah, it's it looks like maybe they're like blackened, but this is definitely not a rubber or anything like that. That's actually just like maybe an oil blackened coating. It is actually steel. So it's not rubber, it doesn't feel that way. So yeah. Over here is another demonstration. We'll probably take a look at that. Ooh, they have steel discs. So these are, looks like they are laser cut, CNC cut dies for different projects. These are really good for like ladles and pans and things like that, bowls. So those are really cool. This guy right here is for a jingle bell, for like a Christmas jingle bell. And then you've got like a batarang, bottle openers, and all kinds of different shapes and sizes. These are handy tongs. So they're laser cut out of, it looks like about a half-inch steel plate. And all you have to do is heat these up and bend them out, and then you rivet them together, and it's really, really quick and easy way to create a set of tongs. So those are really great. So as we continue moving down this way, we have another demonstration. We were over here a few minutes ago, and they were demoing making a hammer, and it was a Swedish hammer. And so what that is it's a block of steel, and then it has like a little shelf that kind of sticks out in a cross-beam type pattern. So that's what they were demoing last time we were over here. So maybe we can find a good place to hang out. Looks like we are heating our piece right now. Looks like they're opening the clinker breaker, cleaning out that coal so that it burns nice and hot and bright. We want to keep our steel real nice and hot. This is really great. So that's our billet, and that I believe that we are still doing that Swedish pattern cross-beam hammer. Looks like he is truing it up.
Now I'm going to double that.
Yeah, it looks like he was truing up the hammer. And he's talking about how he is going to bevel those corners. It looks like he is making a cross-beam hammer. And I have an interview lined up with this blacksmith for 5 p.m. today, my time. So that is in about 2 hours when the demos end. So we will definitely get a nice interview video with this gentleman here for YouTube. So it's really interesting to see the smiths working with coal forges. I tend to do a lot of my work with gas forges, with propane. So this is, you can kind kind of see a little bit of the difference between the way the steel comes out when I'm working with it versus the steel's color when the smiths take it out of the coal forge. You can kind of see that the tip of that hammer that he's working is really bright. It's very hot, and then closer to where the tongs are, it's a lot darker. And that's because he's able to pinpoint that heat and make sure that the heat goes exactly where he wants it. And that is the beauty of a coal forge. You can get that pinpoint heat. It is almost as good as just using a oxyacetylene torch to, you know, for like riveting and things like that. But you can heat a lot of larger stock pretty well, and get that pinpoint accurate heating in there. Doing a little bit of upsetting there. And you can kind of see those like little striations on that piece of steel. And part of that is scale, like we see in my shop, but there's also a little bit of like coal residue on that. Most of it is that scale, but a little bit of it is that coal residue on there. It does kind of stick just a little bit. So when you are forge welding, you'll need to keep that nice and clean with some flux.
Run the drift in and then all that rough forward. I've got a violet and I'm going to decorate it tomorrow. I've got to let it cool slowly. I'll do something else.
So what he's talking about is he's rough forged his hammer and he wants to do some decoration on that. So he is normalizing that piece right now. As you're hammering it, it hardens that steel, and you need to make sure that it stays soft enough that you can create chisel like work with it. I think he wants to make some decorations on that hammer, so I'm thinking that he's trying to normalize it so it kind of softens that material up, so it makes it a lot easier for him to do that chisel work. So yeah, we'll get some B-roll on that as we go. And I think he's gonna start making something else. So I think it's gonna take him a little bit to get started on the next thing he's gonna be demoing. So maybe we'll go back and find another demo, or so I think we've got about, we'll head down that way and see what they're doing on that demo, and then we'll probably end around that in about 15 minutes. We might be able to see if the guy is back at the smithy booth, so let's hang out and let's see if we can't get them to talk to us about that. That's a really nice little. I'm not a big car expert, but yeah, it's a nice little like buggy thing. So that's really cool. So let's come over here and we'll see if we can't talk to these guys over here now. Hi, I'm Ray. I am live streaming on Twitch, which is a internet live broadcasting platform. And I was wondering if maybe you might be willing to talk to me about some of the things here at your booth.
Are you on a blacksmithing thing?
I run. So I'm gonna. I am a blacksmith, or I run a blacksmithing Twitch channel and a YouTube channel. So,
That's
yeah.
the YouTube channel.
Ray's Smithy.
Raise Smithy.
Yeah.
Okay. Look that up.
Yeah. So, if
What do you
you
want
can
to talk about?
hang on to that.
Okay.
So, it looks like you are blacksmithsupply.com.
We are out of Virginia.
So out of Virginia, excellent.
Yes.
I have seen I've gone to your website and taken a look at some of your tools.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah. Is there anything? So I really like that you've got so many different varieties.
We got
of
about
tongs.
140 different, 42 maybe different.
142 different
Different
types
styles,
of tongs.
yeah.
That is a lot of different types of tongs.
Yeah, it's quite a production number to keep up with. So
Yeah. So are these tongs like? Are they all like different patterns, or are they different patterns and sizes
different
as
patterns
well?
and sizes.
Different
Some of
patterns
the
and
last
sizes.
ones we came up. Tom Clark originated these back in like 2000, somewhere along in
Okay.
there. He passed away in 2008, and I was selling for him then. And after his passing, family got together and said if I was interested in buying the business out, so I did. So,
Yeah.
and these are kind of unique. These are some light tongs that when we bought the business out, it was lock, stock, and barrel. So I actually got all the paperwork, all
Yeah.
the stuff he had to count. And it took me years to go through the paperwork just to get it wasn't interested. So
Yeah.
I did one time, and I found some where he had actually drawn out some tongs in this fashion, and he stated 1 pound or less.
Yeah.
So I took that design and worked with the manufacturer we use overseas, and actually developed these tongs under his picture. So it'd be interesting if
Yeah,
he was
they'd be
around
really
today
nice.
to see how. But you can see they're all light, one pound tongs.
Yeah, and these guys, I think I saw on your website that there are tong locks for these guys.
There are, yeah.
So when you've got that long or like that
when you got
thicker
something in there,
stock, and
you can put a tong ring around it.
Yeah.
Saves the hand some. So
So that way you don't have to close them and
that's correct.
dig into your hand. That's excellent.
And wear your firearm out. So.
Yeah. So we've got. It looks like you've got some nail headers down there. In
We
the
do.
center of those
We have some nail
tables.
headers, and then sell a lot of different standard hammers. This first one standing up are the ones that Tom Clark kind of designed years ago.
Okay.
That we had made. We try to keep his name involved as much. He spent a bit of part of his life dedicated to blacksmithing, so we're trying to keep his name in it as much as possible. So,
Excellent.
basically to honor him. So
Yeah. So over here on this side, it looks like you've got some Hardy tools over here, and they're coated in black. It doesn't feel like it's like a rubber coating, but it almost looks like a rubber coating. Is this like a powder coating?
It's actually the same finish. It's a type of gun bluing.
Oh,
They're
okay.
actually made and then dipped.
Okay.
They're like gun bluing to coat the tongs and
Yeah.
other tools. It kind of helps to keep some of the rust off.
away.
Yeah,
excellent.
best you can. So
Okay, yeah, because my chat, I have a live view of the different chat of people who are asking questions, and one of the questions they were asking was like, "What is this coating?" So if it's a gun bluing,
it's a gun bluing type. Yeah,
yeah.
they're actually dipped in.
So is that kind of like so when I am using linseed oil to blacken that, I have to heat or torch that?
Right.
Is this a torch
No,
activation or just
it's a heated material that
Okay,
they dip them in for me.
excellent. That's
So-
awesome.
And then this one of the other is the Smith and Magician.
Yeah.
That's a pretty unique tool. Jerry
Is that
Hoffman,
really
who was
cool?
actually in the Missouri group, designed that years and years ago, and this is version 3 rather. Unfortunately, we lost him the year before last, but he sold out the whole pattern and everything to me about 15 years ago or something to keep that going. It's very, very popular item. This comes with different dies that you can put top and bottom dies in
Yeah.
for your pulling. So we make bases that fit your
Excellent.
anvil.
And these are like, they would be kind of like a, sorry, I'm
okay.
losing the word there. So it'd be like a jig almost.
I'm sorry?
It would almost be like a jig
Yeah, well, it's different dies for doing
for
different
different
materials.
projects.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut off
Excellent.
dies
fuller. Well, that's actually a grooving. If you want to put a
Uh-huh.
V in the middle of a bar, doing tenons on the end of a bar.
Yeah, that's
Um,
really nice. These
and
are
then we
tenants.
came up with this one, which Jerry had similar to it. So if you're sizing down material,
Yeah, so you,
you know,
can
you
guarantee
can
what
half
shape
inch,
that
right?
bar is.
Yeah, so you can kind of get it there, then round it, then use the
Uh-huh.
die. So
Excellent. That's so cool. And yeah, when I had seen a machine very similar to this. I think someone else had like copied the pattern, but they called it a blacksmith spread. So,
Jerry came up with this years ago, and
yeah.
it's been duplicated different ways
Uh-huh.
for years. And that's the exact pattern he left me with, so
Yeah.
that's the one I keep going with. So
That's definitely, and it's a really nice, very beautiful design.
yeah, it's we sell right many of them. It keeps us
Yeah.
pretty busy putting those together.
So is this attached to a bench, or is this like a hardy tool?
It's a hardy tool. We sell a plate with a hardy stem
Okay,
that you
cool.
could use. A lot of people you could just weld a piece of angle iron on here and then use it in
And
the
then
vise.
just clamp it on
Yeah,
the
put it
vise.
in the vise, and that way you got your hammer free. A lot of people like it in the. A lot of people just we do it out. We just stub out of the center, so it's hard because it's hard. I don't know how big your ammo is. So it's some people actually will weld it on the end and put most of the mass over the thing.
Yeah, that
over
way
the
you can
ammo.
get a nice production setup going on with all kinds of different jigs and tools and things like that to make really fast pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, gun fluing is a great idea. These are so great. Ooh, and these are nice patterning tools.
Yeah, nice texture tool. And here's the latest.
Actually,
these are the latest ones that came out.
Oh, nice.
So doing my buddy Steve Feinstein down in Columbia, Tennessee.
Okay.
This is his whole design. Doing holding tomahawks when you're forging tomahawks.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So right through the hole, right?
Yep, you got it.
Through the
You know,
drifted
very
hole.
similar to hoop tongs. You know, those been around. You know, there's really nothing new in blacksmithing. It gets turned around a little bit.
Yeah,
So.
nothing new under the sun. So yeah, this is all really great.
This is a baby fly press.
Fly press, these are great.
This is
This
the
one
number.
is sold, it
This is
looks
the
like.
number 0. We kind of took this to show that we sell fly presses, and it always ends up getting sold. And
Yeah, they
I hate to sell it, but
everybody loves fly presses.
Yeah,
so many people they get snapped up. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a buddy that will import them from Europe, and he can't keep them in stock.
Yeah.
So I mean, are these made in
And
the
we
U.S.?
have we have these are made in India.
These are made
We
in
bring
India.
we bring
Okay.
them in from India.
Awesome.
We have 0 through number 6. So actually, we have a number 8, which is a massive. I mean,
massive thing.
yeah. This collar here is about this big.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's a massive machine. So.
Yeah. So basically, what this is you put dies on these guys, and then you kind of wind them up. There's a screw inside of here, and when you're done winding that up, whoops, sorry. So the centrifugal force of this giant ball will fling it around, and you'll get a nice heavy hit on there.
It's amazing the force you can put out.
Oh yeah. I spend a lot of time at the Memphis Metals Museum, and they have a number 6 on one of their benches. It's a beautiful tool. I love that thing. So yeah.
Yeah. So, don't want to sell it, but that's what I'm in the business to do, is to sell. So
Yeah.
So,
Gotta make your money.
yep.
That's
just some dies for power. So we currently
hammers?
started importing and taking over the SAMAC power hammers.
Okay.
So it's just some of the dies we had in stock. And we wanted some, so we brought some up for.
So then,
people to look
do
at.
you sell power hammers?
We do the
hammers?
SAMAC line.
Okay, so the SAMAC power hammers, awesome.
Yeah, helmet out in Santa Fe. So unfortunately, I had some health issues and needed to get out of the business. So we worked out a deal. We shipped them out. Actually, I'm basing them in Missouri and shipping from here. So
excellent. That's so cool. And yeah, it looks like these are the variable dies for it. Awesome.
yeah, there's a ton of different dies. Some of them are very unique and a certain process that I don't quite think I'd ever do, but somebody may have a need for. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for showing
thank
me
you.
around.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All righty. So,
Is anybody
what?
is anybody watching?
We've got 7 viewers right now.
Okay.
I've had up to 9 today. Normally, I get somewhere around the range of 10 to 20 viewers live. And then we have about 200 or so viewers that watch after the live has been, because after it broadcasts, it will just sit on YouTube, and we get about 200 people who walk me through.
Can you write your YouTube channel down for me? I forget to remember it. I want to look that up.
Primary camera's on the power.
Okay.
Phone's probably got 10% left.
Okay. Well, so guys, thank you so much for joining me. It looks like the phone is starting to run out of power, so you are watching in Belgium, so I have an international audience. I do have an international audience. I do have I have a lot of people from Belgium, from Germany.
Really? That's wild.
I've got some people from England and that area as well. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Cool.
I'm still relatively new, but you know, we're growing very quickly. So yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I think we're going to raid off. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend. So thank you so much. We're gonna raid to Valencia Glass. Thank you. So normally I have batteries that that plug into the wall, so that way I don't have to worry about batteries. But today, because we are mobile, yeah. Alrighty. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and have a lovely rest of your weekend. So we are raiding to Valencia Glass, and it looks like it's going to be about 50 seconds before that raid goes. I think I can exit the stream, and then you guys will go already. So yeah. So we will stop the stream.